Hi everyone, and welcome to the Aquarius March 2022 mid-month illumination reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance, or more simply put, to better find where you fit. All right, my lovely Aquariuses, welcome everyone. So this reading is meant to be kind of a mid-month reminder to keep a message in mind to help keep you aware of engaging your unique internal authentic self authentically with your external environment. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the messages of this card. I'm going to bring in some intuitive messages, and then we're going to pull some additional cards to expand on the message. So for the second half of this month, Aquarius, we have the power of the divine masculine, number 10 breaking down to a 1. Now, for those of you who are new to my channel, I always like to preface this with masculine, when we're talking about it in this context, is masculine in that it's masculine energy, not like a man. So we have masculine energy and its counterpart is feminine energy. Masculine energy is the outward push to create, and feminine energy is the receptive internal energy to create. So it's kind of two halves of the same coin, but the power of the divine masculine. So this is really focusing on really pushing forward in this realm of creation or starting something new. And I like how it's the number 10 but breaking down to the number 1, which is the I, the what am I going to push forward and create from. So I'm going to start here by reading the little excerpt in the book that comes with this oracle deck, and then we'll go into kind of expanding on that message. All right, so we have power of the divine masculine. An empowering energy seeks expression from within. It wishes to free you from confusion, paralysis, and stagnancy. It seeks to stir you into consciously chosen action, greater discipline and focus. It's time to end the frustration of repeating old patterns. You are ready to break through into a new way of life. Feel inspired, be energized, and focus on your dreams and desires. Take steps to manifest them on the physical plane. Believe your success is inevitable. Love that, Aquarius. This is a really empowering time for you. And I've said this in a few of the readings. April is really kind of almost like the crest of the tidal wave month. It's a month that has a lot of energy building to it before we go down into May, that starts to have some kind of more difficult astrological placements with some of the planets going retrograde. But March and April really are setting us up to kind of push us on the wave towards the rest of the year. So this really is stating that for the second half of this month to really focus on believing in yourself and getting out of that place of stagnancy, and to get to that place of focused discipline and make it happen, so that in April, when we really hit the crest of that wave, you are swimming with it. Okay, beautiful energy, very clear, very concise. I feel it in myself, like I feel excited for you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull now a card for the concept of curiosity. And this is where Spirit would like you to stay open and curious and optimistic too around this theme. So what does Aquarius need to stay open and curious to? Well, that's really awesome. We have milk and honey, number 51 breaking down to a 6. That number really is a number that deals with the energy of love, deals with the energy of working towards common spiritual goals with others. And milk and honey, I mean, this is, when we talk about the land of milk and honey, it is that feeling of having all of your needs and desires and hopes met, and really just coming into this place of abundance. So when we're trying to stay open and curious, what I would really kind of ask yourself throughout the second half of this month to keep in mind around this energy of like go forward and get ready to take on the new and have confidence in yourself, have confidence that what you want is inevitable, that really be curious as to what would feel like this for you. You know, when we keep in mind, this kind of is bringing forward that kind of 10 of Cups feeling of that, you know, happy family, ultimate emotional heart's fulfillment, that there's this feeling of what would make you feel like this. The more that you stay curious and open to that and thinking of like, okay, me, who I am today in the present, what would make me feel very fulfilled? That the more we're able then to be clear about in this moment where I should take dedicated action. So a lot of times this allows us to kind of clear out what we maybe at one point had thought this idea would feel like for us. You know, we grow and we change and we expand throughout our entire life experience. And sometimes we outgrow a need or a belief or a hope or a dream. And we realize, wow, we've been following something just because at one point I thought that this was all there was, or I thought that this would be the end all to beat all. And we get to that point and realize, well, now I'm a person who's grown more. I'm more of an expanded individual. So what now, as me today, would make me feel like this, make me feel like I had my whole heart's desire fulfilled? And that, again, is going to give you that courage and that clarity of where to take action. All right, so now I'm going to pull a card here for the concept of courage, and this is going to be where Spirit would like you to be courageous in taking action. So what does Aquarius need to know about where to take action for the month of, or for the second half of this month? All right. Oh, interesting. So we have Coyote Spirit. It says trust in divine detours. Number 16 breaking down to a 7, which is us really co-creating with Spirit. So trust in divine detours. I love it. There's this feeling here coming through of maybe perhaps at one point you had been so dedicated on a certain outcome or following a certain life path. And I think now as you're opening the door to realizing kind of what's waiting for you on the other side, that's a new expanded hope or dream for yourself, that there may be something that kind of comes up out of the blue, moving kind of at the end of this month and moving into April, that might seem like it's a detour. It might seem like, whoa, where did this come from? But it's going to ask you to realize that, you know, it's a divine detour. It isn't something now more in alignment with what this curiosity, what opening this door is actually going to bring in and reveal for yourself. So I'm getting the feeling of being flexible, of really as you're having the courage to take action and to take dedicated action, to realize that just to keep acting from this place that's going to keep you in alignment with this new vision of abundance for yourself, and be ready to see what comes in. You know, this can be like when you're like really focusing on starting, you know, like looking for a job in this area, and then out of the blue, somebody comes knocking on your door with in a totally different field or something totally different out of the blue, but yet it's still in alignment. It can still get you here. Or it's something where perhaps you were so focused on, you know, maybe getting that perfect partnership and having that ideal relationship, and then all of a sudden you get a call from your work and they say, you know, we need you to relocate like 2 weeks from now across the country. And you're like, what? You're like, but I've been trying to date here. I've been trying to get myself settled. And all of a sudden, what you're going to realize is that in kind of going with that flow and going with that opportunity, that's actually what's going to lead you to meet perhaps the individual that you've been so hoping to meet. And it might open up a new aspect of what that level of relationship is going to look like by bringing in new circumstances. So just keep yourself open. I feel like this is going to be kind of fun for you guys. Something's coming in here. All right. And so now we're going to go ahead. You know, Aquarius, I'm just thinking back to all the readings I've done recently for you. Like the last 3 have all been about like, do it, go for it, fresh start. So there's definitely a lot of kind of, I think, cheerleading going on in the background for you guys on a spiritual level. So, All right, so I'm going to go ahead now and pull a card for the concept of contemplation. And this is really where Spirit would like you to reflect on this message for the second half of the month. This is really kind of the underlying theme in regards to the overarching message. So what does Aquarius need to focus on? Okay, nice. All right, so we have breathe. It says the breath is the vital bridge between your body and soul. It's the connection between the inside and outside, connecting you to the universe, spirit, and the divine source. The breath permeates your entire being with prana, which is the same life-giving force that nourishes everything in the universe. And then we have receive. You are a kind and loving soul who constantly reaches out and gives to others. But now it's time for you to learn how to graciously receive. Just as with the ebb and flow of the tides, the art of giving and receiving is the natural law and order of the universe. I really like this for you, Aquarius. So there's this feeling here of, and I love how these two images look very similar with people having the closed eyes and kind of connecting here. There's almost this feeling, and interestingly enough too, you know, here we have the masculine, which I was talking about, mixed with its divine counterpart, the feminine, about receiving as well as pushing. So we can harness both sides of that energy. We can harness the masculine and the feminine at the same time and balance that. And I get that feeling really of balancing those two energies within you here, that it's time to realize that we can push outwardly, but that we also have to be open and receptive. And I know that kind of sounds a little, you know, like, well, what does that mean? That means that when we have those two energies, because we all have masculine and feminine energy within ourselves, when we bring them into balance, it means that we are opening the channel of love. That divine support, the divine supportive energy that runs through everything, which is really what, you know, breathe speaks about here, is remembering that we are a part of everything, literally. It is outside us, inside us, and we are connected to everything. And I like to think of we are connected to everything through the energy of love. And love has to be an open channel. We have to give love as much as we have it open to receive love. And so there's this feeling here of when we balance divine masculine and feminine energies, that we are open to basically everything. We are open to allowing others to come in and provide us with help and support and possibly even constructive criticism. And we are just as much able to push outward and start to really make strides that are, I would say, kind of a lot of times outside the box. You know, when we think about masculine energy, this isn't about just kind of waiting for things to come into place. That's more the feminine energy of allowing what comes in and then utilizing that to create. The masculine is about pushing forward, breaking ground. And that breaking ground might mean that you're treading a new path that has never been tread before in a certain area. But also to realize that we have to stay open to where others can help us. You know, it doesn't always have to just be us going at it alone. It can be that now we actually have a partner who wants to help us. Or now we have somebody come in who says, you know, maybe you can do it in this way instead of this way. And instead of, you know, trying to push off, you know, the receipt of this divine help, you instead say, you know, let me take that to mind. Thank you for giving me that piece of advice. I'm going to then utilize that to continue pushing forward. So there's something here about the beautiful balance of when we are balanced, we truly are in flow. We just feel like we can move forward effortlessly because we feel like we have support as much as we are, you know, having to support ourselves and pushing ourselves forward. So really beautiful, but keeping in mind, again, that balance between yourself and everything, that you are a part of everything. And I think when we start to kind of remind ourselves of that when this divine detour might come in, you'll be open and ready for it because you realize, okay, this is all just part of my path. I'm still very clear and focused as to what I want, but I'm allowing the universe to kind of come into alignment with what I actually need. All right, and need specifically to bring you this feeling of abundance. Beautiful message, Aquarius. I will leave you with that. If you would like to illuminate your own personal spiritual importance and to see how it can be of service to yourself and others, you can visit my website, where I'll be running a special for the entire month of April on my 1 hour I Am Illuminated reading and intuitive look at your unique numerology and astrology traits and aspects. And I will also be releasing a 30-minute video before the end of the month that really goes into why I feel it is so important to illuminate your own spiritual importance, and also what that 1 hour reading takes a look at, and how I use all the information from your numerological chart and your astrological chart to really tie that in with a tarot reading to provide you with a truly unique self-educational experience. So if I don't see you over there for a reading, I hope to see you back on this channel for your April illumination reading, which will be posted the first week of the month. And for those of you who are wondering, the 1 hour reading that will be on special will be reduced in price from $150 to $111 for the entire month of April. All right, my Aquariuses, have fun for the rest of this month, pushing forward and gaining better clarity on what you truly want in your heart's desire for you. And I look forward to reading for you in April. Bye.